just a bunch of high school kids motivated to do good after we saw some pretty shitty news after the cyclone in Bangladesh, and then from there, I guess.
After the what?
There was a cyclone in Bangladesh in 2007.
Okay.
We were chatting on MSN, like, this sucks, what can we do? We're all the way over here. And slowly but surely we came to an idea where we put on a show, and I've just been doing it ever since.
Good. And
How did you guys meet?
well, this is how we met. I found out Tarun went to Africa, and I was really like into that, and I really wanted to go, and I was like, okay, I was looking up programs, and I just couldn't find a good one, and like people were telling me that this guy went to Africa, and I like heard things, and I knew he was in my classes, and so he was in one of my classes, and I just like followed him after class, and I like go up behind him, I'm like, hi, I'm Jill, and he's like, hi, I'm Tarun. Anyways, that's how we met. I kind of creeped him out. I pulled an ABBA. But,
High five.
So I don't think a lot of people know this, but I didn't really know any Bengali people till about the beginning of last year. Mostly because I was a really big hermit for the first and second year. So, second year I went and I watched not the first Jago show, but one of the Jago shows. It was at Carlton, Kailash Mittal, and I was like, yo, I really want to be a part of that next year. Mostly because I saw Fahad dancing to all those Backstreet Boys things, and I was all like, I can do that, but not the same thing. There are a lot of Bengali people at this school. I didn't know any of them. And pretty much they were just all a bunch of kids that wanted to make a difference. And I just got along with everyone from the first day. And ever since, I've been with them.
Tarun texts me, and he's like, hey, like, what do you think about, creating a fundraiser for Haiti? And in my head I was like, that's amazing, but I was like, are we even going to be able to do it? How is this possible? And I thought it was just going to be me, him, and Matt. So he was like, okay, let's have a meeting Tuesday at 2:30. I'm like, okay, got this. So Tuesday at 2:30, I think it's just me, him, and Matt. And then we get to the library, and like an influx of people come in, and I'm like, who are these people? And I remember it was like Zaina, Shamanti, Dobson was there, Noreen was there. Like all these people, I was so intimidated because I was like I thought I was a visible minority in Ottawa, but like hell no, I wasn't. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like the only white person here.
Fond memories. Oh, well, got 5 years worth of memories, and honestly, every year, my defining moment is what we do as a group, like the shows we put on every year.
For me, it's more than just getting together with friends and doing something good. For me, it's an identity, really. If people ask how to describe myself, I essentially describe like UFA's mandate.
Honestly, it's defined everything I've done. It's defined who I am now. Because I mean, initially we did it just to do good in the world. I mean, like, it was an instinctive reaction to try to help out people that we were close to. I mean, it was something that happened in our own country, in Bangladesh. And since then, it's become so much more than that, so much more than just simply helping. It defines everything I love doing, and it's something I've discovered. It's my passion. And everything that encompasses bringing new people together, creating new friendships, not only for myself, but between others. Doing good for the world while doing good for yourself. I mean, everything put together, yeah, it's a lot of hard work, it takes a lot of time. It has its stressful moments, but at the end of the day, you just can't match the end result.
I went through a lot this year, just fourth year in general, like emotionally and just mentally. And the one thing that I learned out of all of it is I have one theme throughout my whole life, and Unity for Action has sort of like exemplified it the most. If you love something with all your heart, no matter how busy you are, you can make time for it, and you will be able to schedule your life for it. I wish I could be there right now, but that's just how the cookie crumbles, I suppose. We really need all your help and your support, and together we can really move mountains together.
Well, I know I've said this a few times before over the last couple of months, but what we have as a group, as Unity for Action, is honestly something that I hope you guys don't take for granted, because it's incredible and it's something that very few people have the fortune of being a part of. Like I said, there's nothing like it. And the potential is, sky's the limit. So go forward with it, because we're only getting bigger, we're only getting better. Who knows? Aim high and go for it.
I really want to say thank you. Thank you on behalf of everybody around the world and all the organizations we've helped and that we're going to help, because I know we're going to go far. Thank you on behalf of the university, but really thank you from the bottom of my heart for making my life more fulfilled. And this is going to be pretty deep, but if I died tomorrow, I know that I would have been happy with the life that I lived.
Good. And I guess one question I always wonder is like, when did you become like so nice and like so loving? Like, you know what I mean? Because it's crazy. That's like one thing people always mention when they say Jill's like, she's so nice. It's ridiculous.
Aww, thanks. I don't know. I don't know. I used to really. I don't like seeing people being left out or anything. I like to make everyone feel included and everybody feel special, because we've all been in a position where you're somewhere and like you don't feel special, and that sucks. And so like I will like be like, oh, this person's sitting on their own, and I'll like make sure they feel special. So I don't know, like I've been in the position, I know it sucks, so I try to make sure no one else is in the position. I can't do that obviously, but I try. And so, I don't know. And like I don't know, I like being nice. It's just I don't know.
Okay, so Samara, for everyone that doesn't know their story, could you please tell us how you met me, Abba?
Okay, so this actually is really funny because it leads into how he became part of the show this year. Last year, when I was coming home from Bollywood practice or hip hop practice, it was like 10 o'clock at night. And so I'm taking the 95, and I don't really like taking the bus at night. And in general, even when it's daytime, I don't talk to people on the bus, let alone strangers on the bus. So I'm sitting in the back and listening to my Bollywood music and just thinking about what I'm gonna choreograph, and this guy just comes and sits next to me, and I like don't really care because I'm like, obviously I'm not gonna talk to this guy, but all of a sudden he just turns and he taps me on the shoulder. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. When I take my headphone out, I'm like, yes, and he's all, have you ever thought about what would happen if the back accordion of the bus just detached? We would all die. Those people sitting there, they would all be dead. And then I turned to him and I'm like, that is a terrible way to say hello to someone. And then he turns to me and he's like, so what are you listening to? And I'm like, my music. And he's all, so what do you think about when you're listening to that music? And I'm like, well, you know, I choreograph in my head, and yeah. And so then he turns and he's like, what is the chance that two dancers are sitting right next to each other on the bus? And I am thoroughly creeped out by this man at this point, thinking he's gonna jack my iPod or something, or rape me, I don't know, it's 10 o'clock on the 95. So, long story short, he asked me to add him on Facebook. And I'm like, really? I don't really add rando people on the bus to Facebook. And then he asked me, well, what are you gonna lose if you add me and you find out I'm a creeper? Just delete me. And I was like, okay. Long story short, I add him. Turns out he really was a dancer. And a year later, we have the huge posters on our cover photos, and he asked me about it. And I told him, yeah, come down to practice or come down to tryouts. And he showed up. And that is how Abba was brought into our lives.
Because, yes, so Samara, the next question that we have for you is...
Last year of high school was Concert for Hope. First year, Second Chance. Second year, Unity for Haiti. Third year, Oh, second. Damn, choke. Yeah.